Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Happy Monday. We have made it to week 2 of our Millionaire Mindset Mornings. And week 2, our focus is on money and momentum. So basically, what I have been doing is coming to you live every morning at 8 a.m. and sharing with you some business tips, side hustle tricks, things like that will help you in your business and help you to be able to grow. Really quickly, last week, week 1, we focused on mindset. It was a mindset reset. So if you have not checked out those videos, please go ahead and do so and check those out. So you can get your mindset right. Because I always say, if you don't have the right mindset, anything I say that follows, you are not going to have fertile ground to make the ideas grow and flourish. So during that week, we tackled doubt, we tackled having discipline, we tackled how comparison is like the thief of joy, and we also talked about protecting our peace. But now for week 2, we are moving on to money and momentum, okay? Because it's time not to just think like a millionaire, but now we need to start moving and acting like millionaires as well, okay? Now, if you have been with me since day one, let me know. Drop a hand emoji in the chat, waving at me to let me know that you're there. And also, if week 1 stretched you, I would like to know that as well. Really quickly, let me do my social media checks because there have been some issues in the past with making sure everything was up and running like it's supposed to. So give me just a moment, and then we are going to get started with day 8. Okay, it looks like we are good. Hopefully no issues will arise as the video continues. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and get into it. So week 2, like I said, we're focused on money and momentum. So what I'm going to be focusing on this week is helping you to turn your ideas into action steps, because plans do not pay bills. All right. Okay. It's good to make all these plans, but the plans do not pay bills if you do not execute on them in your business. Also, we're going to be focusing on building consistency, and then also finishing what you start so you can actually see results. All right. So if you're ready to move from talking about it to actually making coins, then drop some money emojis in the chat to let me know, or money bags in the chat to let me know you are ready to do that. So usually what I do is I share 3 main points that I'm going to talk to you about. So we're going to get into that, and then I always try to give you a little action step for you to take at the end. So the first thing I want to talk about is procrastination. When you procrastinate, these are things that are blocking your bag, okay? So when you procrastinate, that is a paycheck delay, okay? These habits are literally costing you your coins, all right? So procrastination blocks your paycheck. So that is point 1. The first point is procrastination blocks your paycheck. And we don't want that, okay? We don't want our paycheck to be blocked because of procrastination. Now, I have definitely been there, though, where I have delayed things or have not done things or acted upon things, which ultimately cost my paycheck, okay? So you can't be busy mapping out steps, making plans if you never actually move. So we need to turn those plans into action steps. Now, when it comes to procrastination blocking your paycheck, also what ends up happening is oftentimes we wait for the perfect condition. Sometimes procrastination is actually perfectionism in disguise. So sometimes we're waiting for those perfect conditions to arise, have everything in place. I need to have this up and running. I want to have this certain thing here, or I want to make sure I buy this particular thing or this kind of business card, or want to have my website designed a certain way. So we're waiting for perfect conditions, but you don't need more time or more money or more training. You just need to execute on what you are supposed to be doing. All right. So as I said before, stop planning and start executing. Also, when you delay action, that delays your learning. So your procrastination procrastination continues to block your paycheck. I use this example all the time. The first iteration of the iPhone is not the iteration that we have today. But if they had waited till it was perfect, if they had waited to what it is today, look how many years they would have been delayed. Look how much money they would have missed out on if they didn't just put something out there. So when you delay your actions, that delays your learning. That delays you from finding out what people actually like, what you need to tweak, what you need to change, what you need to lean into even more. All of that delays your learning, okay? You can't improve upon something if you never get started. How can you make improvements if you don't even know what needs to be changed because you haven't even gotten started on it? All right. So be mindful of that. So if you had an idea for your business since January and you have not launched it, you are still researching and doing stuff, and now it is September. Um, Meanwhile, someone else has already launched their business and they started making money. So stop procrastinating. Procrastination is blocking your paycheck, and we don't want that to happen for you. Okay. Moving on. The second point I want to make is sometimes when it comes to your business, side hustle, entrepreneur opportunity, you are creating a freebie frenzy. What do I mean by that? When you keep offering free stuff, you are teaching people not to pay you. All right. So don't create a freebie frenzy. So let me put that in the chat really quickly. And once again, these are habits. These are bag blockers, habits that are costing you your coins. So stop creating a freebie frenzy. All right. You're only training people not to pay you. Okay. So you're giving away too much free stuff and too much free value. Okay. Giving out samples, offering free stuff is fine. I always say if you're going to offer free stuff, you need to be strategic with it. Like, what is the ultimate end result that you want when it comes to offering your free stuff? So you have to be strategic. If you're saying, hey, I'm going to offer this for free, make sure you know how you're going to make money on the back end. Make sure you know how you're going to make money a week later, a month later from those free opportunities. Okay. So if you offer free stuff, it has to be strategic. Every business does that. So even when it says, like, even with a lot of the restaurants, there was like, hey, you can get a free meal. All you got to do is like download our app. Why do they want you to download the app? So that they can keep marketing to you. So that one free meal, that is just, if the meal was $10, that's just $10 of their advertising budget. Now they have access to you because you downloaded the app to keep targeting you, to send you push notifications saying, hey, we got this new I don't know, chicken sandwich here or whatever it is. So they have an end goal when it comes to offering free stuff. Okay. And if you notice, it's usually free stuff for new people. It's not always free stuff for returning people. Okay. Or if it is free stuff for people who are already their clients or customers, it's like free with the purchase of something. Okay. So when you offer free stuff, you need to be strategic with it. Okay. Don't just be giving away all this stuff and all this value and teaching people how not to value your service. Okay. So if you're just doing free and you're mistaking that for your actual strategy, no, it is not a strategy unless you know how you're going to make money on the back end. Now, doing free stuff, like I said, it does serve its purpose. It can build awareness and things of that nature, but it's building awareness, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's building wealth. You have to figure out how you're going to parlay that to be able to build wealth, build profits, and build income in your business. All right. Because just having that exposure, that is not going to cover your expenses. Okay. All right. So be mindful of that. See how you're going to change, turn those freebies into actual money, okay, or money making opportunities. All right. So the last and final point 3 I have is this thing is blocking your bag is your fear of pricing. You are literally undervaluing your worth. Okay. So let me put that in the chat. So point 3 is you have fear of pricing, and that is causing you to undervalue your worth. We definitely don't want that. So I just put that up so you know what is what we're talking about next. All right. So when you set low prices, you're setting those low prices from a place of insecurity. You are not secure in what you have to offer. You are not secure in the value that you're providing. You don't even see your own value that you're giving to other people. Now, if you don't see your own value, how are other people supposed to see your value that you're providing? Okay. So you first have to see it within yourself so that other people can see it. All right. So that goes back to some of that mindset stuff, y'all. And like I said, I'm probably always going to touch a little bit on mindset because you can't do any of these things if you don't have the right mindset. I hope that message gets to y'all loud and clear. You cannot do any of these things if you don't have the right mindset. You cannot, walk in them in excellence, okay, to your full potential if you don't have the right mindset. So your fear pricing is coming from a place of insecurity. You don't see the value that you provide. So when you don't see the value you provide, it makes other people to it makes it hard for other people to see the value that you provide as well. Okay. Also, when you set these low prices, you're actually attracting bargain hunters and not your ideal client. That's why sometimes it's like it's not worth it to attract some of these low paying clients or people who literally do not see the value in your service because they are the ones that cause you more headaches. They are the ones who cause you more problems. They are the ones that cause you more complaints and frustrations when it comes to your business. So stop attracting bargain hunters because you have a fear of pricing. You don't know how to price. You are insecure about your pricing and you don't recognize the value that you provide. Okay. You are attracting people who are going to cause you more headaches than anything. Okay. So when you offer those discounts, when you devalue your services, you're pulling people in who want cheap pricing and not quality. Okay. Because they don't see the value. All right. And then also, as I mentioned too a little bit, or I alluded to a little bit, when you do that, when you undervalue your products or your services, you are burning out because you're underpaid. You're burning out because you're giving so much of yourself. You're providing so much service, but you really are getting underpaid. And also, like I said, people are probably complaining. People are not happy because the cheap people you attract, they don't see the value in it. Okay. So you're hustling really, really hard, but it's not being reflected in your bank account. So you're spinning and turning all these wheels, but your bank account still looks broke. Okay. It's not funny. All right. So I'm going to use their example. Like if you make cakes or something like that, and all you're doing, you make these beautiful, elaborate cakes that taste absolutely amazing. And all you're charging is $25 or $30. And it's taking you several hours to create these cakes. And like I said, you're charging $25, $30. And by the time you factor in your ingredients, you have only made like $5 off of the cake. $5. It and imagine if it took you 3 hours to make that cake and all your profits were $5. That's like slave wages. Like that is absolutely insane. Okay. That is not a side hustle. If you spend 3 hours doing something and after all your expenses and everything was said and done, all you made was $5. Okay. You hustling backwards. Okay. You in the hole, literally. You're literally in the hole because your time is also very valuable and your time is something that you cannot get back. So just be mindful of that. Okay. So those were my 3 points that I had. Real quick, I'm going to give you a recap. The first point that I had was procrastination is blocking your paycheck. The second point I had is that you need to stop creating a freebie frenzy. And then the last point I have is your fear of pricing is causing you to undervalue your worth. We don't want any of that going on. Okay. So I want you to identify one area in your business where you can identify one of these bad blockers. And I want you to counteract that and do something different. Do something about it on today. Okay. That's what I want because these bad blockers are literally costing you your coins. All right. So let me know which one are you kicking to the curb this week. All right. And if you are watching the replay, replay, please put in there replay riches, because we are getting rich in these side hustles, and we are making money in the side hustles, and actually collecting on our coins. And we're about to stop blocking our bag with these habits that we have in our business. Okay. Now, please tune in tomorrow at 8 a.m. Tomorrow's topic, we are going to talk about how to actually finish what you start when it comes to your business. So make sure you tune in and check it out. Tomorrow is also Tipsy Tuesday. We have been doing our side hustle workshop that will help you generate at least $100 in your business if you follow all the steps that I have been outlining. So tomorrow is actually week 3 of that workshop. It is a 4-part workshop. So if you haven't seen parts 1 and 2, go ahead and check those out from the previous weeks. Okay. Now go out there, snatch your bag, collect your coins, and walk in your authority, walk in your value. All right. Until then, take care, guys. Have a wonderful day.